It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On second down, Kamara. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
There we go. Yeah, that's what I do.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. Now Garoppolo to try again after the pick 6. And his first look is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
21.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
11.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away, and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Wentz. Forced out to his left. Room to run inside the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now a play fake. Wentz. Going underneath for Crowell. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Steps away to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now Wentz on 3rd down. He completes it to Bryant. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Come on now, let's go. Sunday.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Wentz going to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. It's the fullback, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Raiders add on to their lead. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. That's complete to Meredith. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. And the Raiders have got him.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
Here we go.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
21.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. play fake. Garoppolo. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. On play action, now Garoppolo. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
11.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Vontaze Burfict. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Let's go. Here, 81.
Here's a give to Crowell. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
Come on now.
Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath, If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. To throw, it's Wentz. Flushed out right, and this will be incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. The Pro Bowl corner, Jason Verrett, on the tackle.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Raiders on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is brought in at the 21. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now a pitch out to Kamara. And now running right through it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
21.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
Go ahead, go ahead.
To throw is Garoppolo. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Here we go. Waiting. Run.
Working from the gun, Wentz. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the gun, it's Wentz. Going up top. And this is taken in at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Stopped short, down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get all the way to the end zone. Give him 3 on the gain there. Second and goal. Second and goal from the 1. He's going to get it running right. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he powers his way up past the 30. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now a handoff to Crowell. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing now is Wentz. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Alex Okafor able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
65.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Wentz now to throw. Going deep here for Bryant. Pushing his way inside the 40. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. This is Crowell. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7.
Lion. Go. 80. 81.
To throw is Wentz. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a KC touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
So I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
And now here comes Kansas City. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's out right at the 25. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On play action, it's Garoppolo. He's going to fire one deep over them. And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there. I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. That's caught by Meredith right side. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A very solid gain of 27. Garoppolo now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Kayvon Webster there to make the tackle.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Final minute now of the third quarter. Again, it's Kamara. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The Chiefs on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And his kick is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back.
Hang in there now.
Wins to throw on second down. And that's incomplete.
So they look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
The Raiders on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing is Wentz. Flush to his right. And he finds a man on the crossing route. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Crowell. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. They'll run it again with Crowell. Isaiah Crowell, he's all alone. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Isaiah Crowell with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
12.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He finds Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They go play action here on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run it now out of the gun. Heck of a move, but only able to work his way down near the 23. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
There's Garoppolo to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
11.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They begin with a run by Crowell. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Dorian O'Daniel, 3rd-round pick in 2018, made the tackle.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the four fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. It was Reggie Ragland who got him down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And out come the Chiefs now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. It's caught at the 10. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 57 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. He'll get it up the middle. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Now Garoppolo, got to have this one. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
They do tack on the extra point as well, as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3-and-out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it, because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
And he stopped immediately there. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Crowell. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
On the ball.
Now Wentz. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Go ahead. 21. Here we go.
Back to throw. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Back to throw. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere. Yeah,
and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going on the field, but okay, I see you. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
so for Oakland, the win will be their 12th now on the campaign. And they will head home next week to take on the L.A. Chargers. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
You